Hi, Zach. Thanks for joining me today.
Hey, great to see you, Steve.
Great to see you. Some not so great news. San Francisco real estate. A lot of the country is doing pretty well, but you can't really say that about the city by the bay. Some of the details and just how much that market is struggling. We're seeing luxury properties now listing and selling for massive discounts. There's a penthouse at the San Francisco Four Seasons, initially listed 2020 for 9.9 million. Now it's trying to get 3.75 million, 62% markdown. As the date of the article we pulled up hadn't sold yet, still on the market. A five-bedroom home sold for 1.1 million earlier this month, after selling for less than a year prior for 1.6 million. So in just not too long, having a pretty big markout in there. There's a two-bedroom condo overlooking the ballpark, sold for 1.12 more than a decade ago, just sold for 1.08. Commercial market, we've talked about this before in SF, but we're seeing a sale of property on Market Street at a mind-boggling 90% discount. That building 995 Market was acquired for 6.5 million during a public auction last year. The previous owner paid 62 million. So that's not really a haircut. That's more of a decapitation. We've seen
Right.
retail giants moving out. Macy's announced it was closing its flagship store. The year prior, Nordstrom had pulled out due to what Nordstrom described as the quote deteriorating situation in the area, unquote. Um, Actually, turns out it might have been an understatement on Nordstrom's part. Some of your thoughts on beautiful San Francisco, which actually is from a distance at least very beautiful.
Oh, look, San Francisco's not going anywhere. San Francisco's San Fran because it's San Fran. So, as a real estate developer and an investor, this is a great time to want to get into some of these places. If you can see some of the changes that you want to see, what do I mean by changes? So, you got to get some incentives, right? There should be some tax breaks. There should be some community support. There should be some regulation that encourages businesses to come back to the area because you're going to need foot traffic. You're going to need restaurants. You're going to need vibrancy in this downtown area or in the city at all. You don't want squatters in and around properties, vagrants on sidewalks. You don't want dangerous areas. So you've got some cleaning up to do. But assuming that you can make some of these changes, you can see a successful turn of a city from a negative to a positive, and you can get some great deals right now.
Yeah, what I'm going to point out is when we look at a property, there's one thing we do on the quantitative side. I mean, you take the lead in putting together spreadsheets that have more cells than I can sometimes remember. Lots of metrics, lots of measurements, lots of different things. But before we even get to the quantitative side, there's the qualitative. And one of the first questions we ask is, are we investing in a market that's supportive of business?
That's
And it's
right.
something that's kind of kept us out of San Francisco and some other markets. That's a real problem before you even get to the modeling. It's a real problem if you're investing in the market where you feel like the people making public policy are working against you rather
Yeah.
than for you. And
Policy to fail.
yeah, I think San Francisco is the perfect example. Beautiful real estate, a beautiful place to live, and the public policy seems all geared at hurting businesses. Uh, and I mean, I think in a nutshell, that's really the big reason why San Francisco is struggling, and you're seeing it now in that it's not just an office thing, it's not just a retail thing.
Oh,
It's
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 across the
also
board.
yeah, and across the board, people don't like walking over drug addicts. Um, there's just a story in the news I think I saw. I think it was a Schiff. Anyhow, it was some Democratic politician who was in town and had all of his bags stolen from his car. So he was having to like give attend a dinner function and stuff in a hiking vest and stuff like that. But that sort of thing of having a news crew have their stuff stolen or having a prominent politician having
Extended borrowing, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. It's man-made. It's a real problem in San Francisco. But to kind of simplify it from an investment angle, it really does matter what the public policy is. It really does matter what the politicians are doing.
But here's, I guess, the greater point. You have something like Market Street, it's very well located. The location is fantastic. Unless you see some way the ability to even do little micro pockets of cleaning things up. Like I'm allowed to remove someone from doing something destructive to the front of my building, to the front of my storefront. And if I'm not allowed to do that, I'm not going to want to own it, no matter how great the location is. So it really does come down to, do I have the freedom in control of my real estate? Do I have the support of the community around me to help make that community better for me so that I can make it better for the community? You know,
And
hand in
just
hand, it has to work together.
yeah, and you really are expert when it comes to the modeling and stuff like that. And everybody does a bit of something here. But our other partner who's on today, Jeff, often takes the lead on some of the property management. Can you imagine what he would do if we told him, hey, we just bought a building in downtown San Francisco. We're going to need you to take the lead on the property management on it.
Without being able to carry a firearm with you, I don't know that anyone would want to take the lead in downtown San Francisco at this point.
So yeah, I think that's kind of what I think this all kind of revolves around in the case of SF is yeah, there's probably bargains out there, some values. It's gonna be a great time to buy into this market. It's beautiful real estate, but the key issue here is public policy, social policy, and right now you've got to be worried uh, about how long this turnaround could happen until the politicians actually start trying to make some changes that are positive for landlords.
That's really true.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Zach. Appreciate it.
Yep. Take care, Steve.